Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today, you guessed it, we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home. Very minimal equipment, very little space, and then you can also tailor these to work for you for your day. You can do them through once if that's all the time you have. You can do them through, I do them in a circuit format. So you can do them through once, be done. Or if you are looking for a fuller amount of time, you can do your warm up 5 to 10 minutes, do them through once, maybe do another set of cardio in between, do them through again. So there's a lot of different ways you can tailor these to work for you. So no matter what, make sure you do come into these warmed up and ready to move. That's really important to help avoid injury, get your muscles warmed up and ready to go. Get your heart rate up a little bit, open those blood vessels, dilate those arteries and veins, and get you ready to move. Okay. We are going to start with a row today. So I have my tube set up here, and I'm going to have you do an alternating row. Actually, yes. So I want you in a good athletic position. So knees bent, hips back just a little, not a squat. There's a very big difference. The athletic position is you're just ready to move. You're not locked out, not standing straight as a board, just ready to move. Everything's loose, tummy tight. All right, so shoulders down, put your shoulder blades in your back pocket, and we are going to pull slowly both directions. So pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades, and then release them slowly. Control that movement back towards the wall. Breathing. When you pull back, don't bring those shoulder blades, or don't bring those shoulders up by your ears. Squeeze back, driving your elbows to the back of the room. Breathing, keeping that tummy nice and tight. Remember, you can always make this a little easier by stepping closer, more difficult by stepping back. 9 and 10. You can also add another band to it. If you're working with the most difficult band and you still need more resistance, take one of your lighter bands and hook it up, add it to it. It will help make all of that a little bit more challenging. Okay. Next, we're going to do some side lunges. Now, proceed with caution. I really would like for you to do these like standing at your kitchen counter so you can use that to sit back. So use it even more than you think you should. Kitchen counter or something sturdy where you can hang on, not just something purely for balance that's just kind of sitting there. So when we start a side lunge, there's a few things to think about. You want first to start with maybe just like a small range of motion. You're kind of transferring your weight, you're bending that knee. It's not very far. So I would like for you to start with that, and if that feels okay and there's no knee pain, there are two really important things to think about. Sitting back. So like here, I'm using this so I can really sit back. My knee should stay over my ankle. If you're coming over and see how far my knee is out in front of my ankle, even in front of my toe, it's not safe for your knee, and I don't want anybody to hurt your knee here. So step out, bend just a little to get warmed up and see how that feels. Really sit back. Don't let your knee go in front of your toe. So whatever range of motion you need to keep it in to keep that from happening. Again, use that thing in front of you to sit back. Like I said, a kitchen counter works great for this. So I said there were two things to think about. Sitting back, keeping that knee over your toe, and also not letting your knee collapse like this. So keeping it straight over your ankle, not going out and not letting it collapse, keeping it in a good straight alignment. Okay, so our goal is to do 10 of these. If this is really challenging for you and this is the first time you've done these, start with 5 on each side. If you've been doing them, you're probably getting close to 10, so I'll do about 3 more. Keep your chest up nice and tall. I don't want to be down here. It's easier to keep your weight back if your chest is tall and back. Let's do 1 more each side. Sitting back into that heel. Good. All right. If you have any trouble with those, don't hesitate to message me. Okay, now we're going to do a bicep curl shoulder press. And if you have a weight plate in your workout room, go ahead and grab one. It's kind of fun to mix up the methods a little bit. So I've got my weight plate here. If not, you can grab 2 dumbbells or a medicine ball, or one heavier dumbbell. That would be another way to do this one. Okay, we're going to do a bicep curl into a shoulder press. So holding this in front of you, bicep, press up. So I want your feet nice and wide apart, tummy nice and tight, press up. And when you press overhead, you want that stability in your core to keep your back safe. Keep breathing. Keep those elbows straight at the end. 4. And I want you to go slowly both directions. Be aware of that different, modality that you're holding in your hands so you don't bump your nose. 5 more. Now, if you found that you grabbed something too heavy, put it down, grab something a little lighter. This is one way to tell. If you're going like this and then like that to push it overhead, it's too much. So I don't want to injure anyone here. Breathing each direction. You could breathe in all the way up, out all the way down. Really, ultimately, it doesn't really matter which way you breathe if you can't find a method that really sinks, just as long as you're not holding your breath. 1 more, keeping those shoulder blades down and back. Curl, press up, down, and all the way down. All right, good, I like that one. Mix it up just a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna grab a fit ball and either a couple pillows or a couple smaller like playground balls. I am going to use a foam roller because I can just put it right in front of me. The other thing you can do is roll up your yoga mat or use a rolled up beach blanket, beach towel, something like that. We are going to do knee squeezes, arm squeezes. So put it where it's a comfortable place for you to squeeze. Right out in front of you here. Now, I'm squeezing my arms and my knees at the same time. I am keeping my torso tall and not doing this. So I don't want to, like really bear down on it like this. I want everything, shoulder blades down and back, in those back pockets, shoulders down, squeezing. So squeezing your knees, we're working on that pelvic floor, working on your adductors, and then squeezing your arms, we're getting a little bit of chest and some shoulders, breathing. And then when we do it all together, your core has to engage as well. So getting a little extra core. I always like putting a little extra core in there whenever I can. Your core should always be involved. That's what keeps your top and bottom connected. 3 more. So just give it a good squeeze. You're the one controlling how hard you squeeze here, so squeeze it for a good contraction, but not so much where it's painful. So you can kind of, you can kind of control your own squeeze there. Okay, great. Now we're gonna stay right on the ball. I'm gonna make sure my camera is lined up. Okay. Now we're gonna do some marches. So do this next to something for stability, especially if you're not certain about lifting one foot. So this is a good balance and core exercise. So I'm, again, keeping my shoulders level, my tummy nice and tight, shoulders down and back, and I want to sit up as tall as I can, really controlling slow marches. Now, also, like I said, if you're sitting next to something and you need to put your hand on it for this, that's okay. See if you can lift your hand off and just hold it right above whatever you might be sitting next to. The next method would be sitting your hands on the ball because that does give you a little stability. And if you can, try not to hang on to anything. Make your core work. We're keeping stable here. So I don't want to, turn, twist side to side and get my knee up as high as I can. It's really about stability, keeping everything as tight as we can, and your core will have to work much harder to stay still, stay stable. Don't let those hips tuck under. Don't want to be here. So nice and tall, keeping those hips right under you. Let's do one more each side. And the slower you go on those, the more challenging they will be. All right, one more. We're gonna lower down to the ground and we're gonna do a finish off with a plank. So down to the floor. Again, there's a variety of ways you can do a plank. You can do it against your countertop. You can do it onto a kitchen chair, like shoved up against a wall. That's a great way to level this down just a little bit. You can do it on your knees like this. And then of course you can do it on your toes. Also, if you feel like your wrists don't like being up like this, you can do it on your elbows. I like to switch it up. I think the last few times I've done this, I've done it on my elbows, and I'm gonna do it on my hands today. So we're gonna work for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. So your goals here are to keep your tummy nice and tight, really squeeze those abs. You want a flat line from the top of your head down through your heels, so you don't want your hips up like this. Hands directly beneath your shoulders, hands or elbows. We've got 5 more seconds to go. Really squeezing those abs. If you need to, if you're in this position and you're really struggling, put one knee down. You can put the other knee down. All right, rest. Child's pose feels really good after this one. Stretch out those shoulders, stretch out your back, glutes. All right, like I said in the beginning, you can go through these 1 or 2 more times, add some cardio, really mix it up and make it work for you. All right, thank you everybody. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or if you need alterations to any of these exercises. Thank you everybody, we'll see you next time.